Feels like it. But it is going to be Honor Grounds and the Reaper King himself spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side. Our red Terran, it is Byun. Looks like he wants to just open up with the barracks opening here.
In the bottom left, in the blue, it's our Zerg player. He is Solar. Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Interesting spawn location. So this is one of these maps where it is
rotationally symmetric.
That's the phrase I was looking
God,
for.
I'm good. Sorry, go ahead, Vic.
I've been listening to you say that phrase for many years now.
We actually had somebody. Me and Artosis, we were casting a long time ago. We couldn't figure out what the word was because we're like it's like not symmetrical, but it's like. Then somebody tweeted us rotationally symmetrical. We were like, boom, outsourced our intelligence right there.
It's actually something that some like 9-year-old tweeted that. You know, he like made it up. It's not even a real word.
Well, it's too late now. We just changed the English language. Sorry, you were saying about these positions.
All right, these positions. So the natural of Solar, super open to drops, right? But really, I mean, Byun's push path is quite direct. This is a little bit hard for Solar to defend, but if he can get creep out in the middle, if he can kind of secure that back drop area with spore crawlers or just by having units there on patrol, he will be looking at a decent-ish mid-game. But for now, Byun, once again, I mean, if it's not broken, why change it up? He's just going to go 3 racks Reaper once again? Or is that just 2 racks, actually?
I saw 2, but there's a third one.
Third in the back.
Greatest observers in the world. By the way, shout outs to our observers.
Kevin and Funka, of
That's
course.
right. These guys, observing is actually super hard to do. And I think it's a lot of times a thankless job. It's really quite difficult to do this and keep track of everything. You have to know a lot about the game and be very, very handsome. So that's so definitely some love for our observers out there. In this game already, Pig, we're seeing the Reaper harass start up here.
Interestingly, Solar. I thought it was a bit of a panicked reaction not going for roaches in that previous game, but once again, he's not putting back on gas. He's only building queens and zerglings, and he can't let this queen die again. That was the big thing where everything started to spiral in that first game, but he's letting it take so much damage. He's got to get that queen back out of there. He cannot let that go down.
All right, these Reapers a little bit bruised. He's going to let them stay back so they can heal up. And it looks like the injured queen is in a pretty good position where it's kind of tough for him to actually try to target that down.
Oh, it looks like
that's so sick!
Nice. Solar's going for mass zergling once again. He's got to try and hide it a little bit better this time and really try and orchestrate that surround very cleanly. He can't eat too many of these grenades. You can see he's going to start to look for it. The Lings are starting to flood out. These queens want to bait these Reapers in if possible. He's going to show his hand. The zerglings have shown.
I don't know if he should have done that. I think he should have stayed back a little bit. You know, when you're going to try to get the Reapers, you want the Reaper to overextend, and then the Lings get the surround. Unless Byun does what he did last time, which is have perfect grenades there, so making the Lings essentially obsolete. Like, I'm looking at how good Byun is with the Reaper. I'm kind of freaked out by this pick.
Yeah.
Like, he's so much better than basically anybody else that plays Terran with Reapers.
It's really weird because in StarCraft, normally it's a game where even if your opponent's a bit faster than you, there's always some way you can manipulate the strategy to sort of force the game into a position where you can play your strengths, but Byun not watching. The Reapers all starting to get surrounded. Oh man, they slipped out of there. I don't even know how they managed to do that.
I cannot believe this. This is so crazy how good he is with that.
Oh, they're going to come back out into danger zone.
I almost want to like rewatch these games in like super slow mode because I'm trying to figure out how he's deciding where to chuck the nades.
Yeah.
And there's points where you see he could have shot a grenade, but he doesn't. I guess because he wants to move it further along. But he really seems to understand the Reaper nade physics so well.
Okay, there's some really weird stuff going on with Byun's macro back home. He's building Reapers out of reacted barracks, and he's upgrading concussive shells right now. So there's a bunch of misclicks going on. I don't know if Byun's getting excited or what, but this is very uncharacteristic to see Byun kind of messing up. But I mean, at this point, he's got to realize what he's doing, which means he's consciously saying, I want to build more Reapers. And this is a sort of surprise, almost all-in move where he says, let's just hit with a whole lot of Reapers, but now he's paused Reaper production. Okay, I'm just going to throw my hands up in the air and say,
something weird happened.
Some buttons, some weird stuff happened. Let's not overanalyze it.
Yeah. No, because it's Byun, we have to be like, everybody should do exactly that. Do not question why he does what he does. Just accept it blindly. He is Byun. Ling's coming in now. Looks like he won't be able to get a good surround. Good nades, Chuck there on the Queen.
Oh, gonna catch a Queen off creep. Look at this. The volley's just going in there. The Queens do manage to survive for now. These beautiful Reaper grenades going down. Everything falling apart.
Okay, I guess he knows that he can get in here and it's okay. He's actually going to get the next Queen. And, you know, the Lynx can't quite get a good surround here. He's really abusing the position of the Vespian Gas Geyser as well as the minerals. The drones have actually been evacuated over there to where the ramp is. Look at this. The positioning of the nades is perfect. He just cannot get a surround. It's like it's like these Reapers are just oily and slip through every possible surround.
I feel like Solar's got to do something a bit tricky. He's got to sneak some Zerglings around behind or cut off the reinforcements or, you know, do something. He keeps coming in just from one angle in a ball, and I feel like he's making it a little bit too easy for Byun. Byun's throwing down those grenades perfectly. I think you need to put a little bit more pressure on him to get those mistakes.
Well, you know, it's really a feature, not a bug. Oh, hold on. There we go. There we go.
About. He needed to get a flag.
He's using the pig stretch.
He didn't leave anything on the high ground, I don't think. Okay, there we go. He has split some Zerglings onto the high ground. He's going to kill them off. But so many Zerglings going down in the process. Look at that.
Oh, my God. They're still alive.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at this guy. This is just phenomenal.
I would pay so much. I wish I had Twitch chat open right now because there is going to be so many salty Zerg tears. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I feel like we're watching one of those really exaggerated anime fights. You know that are happening. I'm like, well, that actually doesn't. It's not how the game works. Then I see this. I'm like, okay, 51 Lynx have been killed here, guys. 3 Queens, and on top of that, keep in mind how much drone production had been delayed, mining had been delayed.
And yet at the end of that, Solar is still even on supply and slightly up in workers, which I'm not saying his position is good by any means, but it's actually so impressive that Solar is managing to keep up with everything else while all this is going down. He's got a Spire on the way, so we are going to be seeing faster Mutalisks coming out this time around.
I think we might have the push start up here before the Spire's done, which is something that can happen. It's kind of annoying for Zerg because you have to decide, do I need to make something that's not air units, you know, before that attack happens, or am I safe enough to hold this off?
Exactly. And with no creep spread to rely on, it's going to be really hard to slow the push down. A lot of the time, Zerg players want to kind of send a few Banelings in, slow down that setup, but Byun here with all the creep already pushed back. Look at that. It's so threatening on the front. He just picks up, drops in the back base. The Banelings are slow. The Spore Crawler goes down. Byun. Oh, he's going to snag the +2 upgrade.
Look at this. Perfect. He did not lose anything there at all, Pig.
Yeah.
He did not lose any Marines, guys. This guy is crazy. Bow down to your Lord and Savior, Byun, guys. This guy is like the perfect player. The value he gets in every fight. The only person I've seen that's gotten trades that are close to this good is probably Innovation in some of the recent games I've casted in Korea, where it's like, well, if he has, you know, 7 favorable fights in a row, and he's basically losing less every time, yeah, he's going to have a bigger army at the end of the game.
Yeah. And it's often that small edges he gets, right, throughout that, just kind of vying for position, vying for advantage. And
death by 1,000 cuts.
Sometimes at the end of the game, it just looks easy because he's worked himself into such an advantage. But this time around, once again, coming in the back, the Lings and Banes are kind of in position. The Queen was blocking a little bit. Looks like there will be a defense now.
Something pretty subtle there. He did not burrow the Widow Mines. I think that might have been intentional. I think he looked at that and said, well, no, you know what? In this position, it's probably better to keep them alive and then try again another time. But yeah, you can see all these little tiny decisions.
Ooh, Mutas is coming out. They're going to trap these drops on the south. But no, he actually showed it when there was only 1 or 2 Mutalisks there. So the drops are going to boost away. Only 1 medevac will fall, and the Mutas have to pull back. Solar not able to shut down any of these units just yet. He's getting some creep out. He's got a 4th base up. Oh, these Marines trading out pretty decently. Nice pickup by Byun. Byun continuing to push on the front, and this creep spread is just so far back. Solar does not have the map control that he wants.
You can see the Banelings are coming up here now. Mutas are inbound as well. Good positioning there with the Widow Mines. He's going to try to kite the rest of that army through there. There still is that drop in the upper left, I believe. Yes, he did unload those Marines. So, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot Solar can do. And the moment that Byun sees those Mutas up there, he might start pushing again here in the middle.
This is the problem. Without having the creep far out, his army can set up so close to Solar, and Solar has to be so afraid of that. But at any moment, Byun can pick up, drop in one of these back bases, and Solar's going to be scurrying about quickly trying to respond to that.
You can see the Marines stimming. We have more Widow Mines leapfrogging forward here. Byun is nearly maxed out, actually ahead of his opponent right now in supply.
Setting off a few Widow Mines. Nice little Baneling trade there. It does kill a few Marines, but the creep is getting pushed back, and that's the important thing. Now that 2-2 is done for Terran, he's happy to trade here on even upgrades. He's happy to edge in. A Widow Mine is even sieged up in the mineral line of Zerg over there, taking down a few workers. Baneling's coming in. A couple of nice Baneling detonations on those Marines, but there's just so much Terran, and the Marines are still standing strong. They've got Medivacs healing them. The Mutas aren't going to be able to overwhelm this, and I think he might have just broken through there. I don't think there's much left here for Solar.
We just see a trail of red crossing the map to meet up with this army. There are a decent amount of Mutas over here, but it seems like right when the Zerg gets to the end of that fight, he identifies, okay, I do not actually have enough. I need to pull back and keep macroing.
And there's no creep. The creep is just getting pushed further and further back. Yeah. He's running out of room to maneuver. Solar is getting to the point where he needs to crush an engagement. He needs to shut down Byun's army and push him back to his side of the map. If he can't do that, or if he can't pull him home with a counterattack, then he's going to be in big trouble, but he does find an opening. SCV's in the open on the 4th base. The Mutas start to go ham. Byun's just going to go for the throat, trying to force his way in. Baneling's going in, not taking the best trade, but if they can hang on, this is going to be okay for Solar.
As you can see, the Banelings are continuing to spill through here, but every time Byun just has a little bit more, and the push is now getting over to where the hatchery is. I don't think that there's anything that Solar can do to stop this. He's trying to come in front of these Mutas, but a beautiful Widowmine connects there, and GG.
Massive win there.